Hello, I'm Chris from the FPL Dude and welcome back to another Fantasy Premier League video for the 2020-2021 season. In today's video I'm going to talk to you about few teams to target and few teams to avoid. I'm going to discuss their best individuals, their essential players and those players that are to avoid. If you're new around here, make sure to hit that subscribe button, don't be afraid to give this video a thumbs up if you like it. And if you have anything FPL related that you want to ask me, feel free to do it down in the comment section. We'll try to give you a reply as fast as I can, but at maximum of 24 hours. Now let's begin. The first team that I'm going to talk to you about is Arsenal. I don't believe they have any essential players to go for, but they have many targets that offer us good potential for return now from Gaming 30 and onwards, mainly because they do have pretty good upcoming fixtures after that game week. I believe Aubameyang to be a very good player to own because he is an elite player. Let's not forget that he's just having a very bad season this one. He was having fantastic season the previous year and a fantastic season the year before that. As for Tierney as well, I do believe that he offers good potential to do really good. He does seem to offer us clean sheet potential now in those next upcoming fixtures. Now we know that Arsenal have not offered us a lot of clean sheet this season, but I believe now it's the right time for them to do it. And if you're after Arsenal's clean sheet, then you could potentially even go for Leno. Leno does seem to be offering us bonus for saves made as well. He does seem to be a very good goalkeeper that should potentially do really good from Game Week 30 and onwards, and same goes to Saka. Now I believe that Saka is going to do really good for his price, and he does not seem to be a 100% guarantee starter, but he's definitely a player you should look to bring in because he does not cost a lot and he is very efficient. If Lacazette and Bellerin now would have probably gotten more time, then I believe that they would have had better potential than okay on this one. But Lacazette and Bellerin does seem to be rotated in a lot of games, and these two players seem to cost a lot, so I would actually skip on these two because they do have okay potential. But if you want to go for some of these players, they could even potentially do good from Game Week 30 and onwards. And as for Pep and Smith Rowe, I don't believe that they are guarantee starters. Even when they play, they are not efficient enough for us to be bringing them to our team, so I don't believe that there are players to go for, but they're actually players to sell or avoid if you actually already own them. The second team I'm going to talk to you about are actually Aston Villa. They seem to be having one essential player I believe will do really good, and that is Martinez. He has been fantastic goalkeeper this season. He's ranked 1 for total clean sheet earn. He is a goalkeeper that earns that bonus for saves made as well, so I do believe that he offers excellent potential. Even though their upcoming fixture might not be that good, they're not bad either, so yes, he does offer us excellent potential to do good. Grealish seemed to be offering us good potential because he should probably make a return from injury now in Gaming 29, so he should be probably fit and ready to do good and rumble from Gaming 30 and onwards. Same goes to Watkins. Now after Grealish injury, he does seem to be offering us good attacking FPL return potential. He has not scored a single goal since Grealish was absent, but Grealish is back now, so that duo should continue to do good. Same goes to Target. I believe the Targets have good potential to do good. He is a player that earns that clean sheet very often, and he seemed to be their most attacking FPL return target from that Aston Villa team. The constant mix duo seem to be offering us okay potential to do good, mainly because if we go after them, we go only for that clean sheet potential. They do not seem to be offering us any good attacking FPL return potential. As for Traore, I do believe that he offers bad potential from Gaming 30 and onwards because he was getting a lot of minutes and a lot of starts now in the last couple of game weeks, but he has failed to impress. He has not showed anything in particular. Then El Ghazi, he's a player I believe has terrible potential to do good now from Game Week 29 and onwards, mainly because he is not a guarantee starter. He has been involved only in 5 games now in the last 8, and he has failed to impress himself as well. Brighton should have been the next team, but I actually already talked about Brighton and Wolves players in my differentials video, you can potentially find in the top right corner. I go around and talk about a lot of teams' differentials, and Brighton and Wolves seem to have all of their players as differentials, so I have already talked about them. I do not want to waste your time speaking about them again. If you want to check that video out, you could potentially find it in the top right corner, or you can find it in a window after you have watched this video. The next team I'm going to talk to you about are actually Burnley. Now Burnley offers few good potential targets to go for. I believe Pope to be the best target. He might not be essential, but he does seem to be offering us good potential to do good, mainly because of his clean sheet potential. He has earned a lot of clean sheet this season, and he's a goalkeeper that earns that bonus for saves made occasionally as well. So yes, he does seem to be offering us good potential for Game Week 30 and onwards. The next player that is offering us okay to good potential now from Game Week 30 and onwards seem to be Wood. He's their best attacking minded target, but Burnley does not seem to be producing a lot. They does not seem to create and score a lot of goals. So yes, Wood has only okay to good potential to do good. As for the other targets you can even go for perhaps me or Lowton. They are the both defenders that offer us good clean sheet potential and some slight attacking FPL return potential, mainly because, as I said, Burnley are just not that creative this season. The next lucky team to be on my special list is actually Chelsea. Chelsea is a fantastic team to target right now. They do seem to have the best upcoming fixtures to go for. I believe they have one or two essential players. Mendy seemed to be an essential player because he is an excellent goalkeeper. His clean sheet potential is just fantastic. He has some potential to get that bonus for saves made as well, but that Chelsea defense seemed to be just too good to ignore. And for the next player that I believe have superb form and potential to do good now from Game Week 30 and onwards is actually Mount. I believe that he has been their best attacking minded player. I believe that he is actually a guaranteed starter, and that he is going to start in most of the games now to the end of the season, where he does seem to be offering us excellent attacking FPL return potential. Rudiger and Aspilicueta seem to be essential players to go for as well. They offer us excellent clean sheet potential. As I've said, Chelsea defense have just been fantastic and phenomenal now in the last couple of game weeks. The next player that offers good potential to do good now is actually Timo Werner. I believe that he has good potential to do good now if he gets those starts, if he seems to find his form, but he has actually failed to impress in so many occasions this season. So he's not a player I trust, and I do not want to put him as an essential. Same goes to Harvard. He seemed to be getting more minutes and more minutes by the day. He seemed to be a regular getting into that regular starting place. So I do believe that he offers good potential to do good, especially because of those fixtures. And Harvard seemed to be a wonderful player that seemed to be adapting very well in the pitch in that Chelsea shirt. Those players that I believe have kind of bad potential to do good now in the next couple of game weeks are Pulisic and Ziyech. I believe they have bad potential to do good because both of them are not a guaranteed starter. Both of them are going to get rotated. Now if someone of them is actually going to be suitable guaranteed starter, then he is offering us good potential. But if they just get rotated as they have done now in the last couple of games, so as they have done this season, then I do believe they have bad potential. And as for Chilwell and Alonso, I believe they have terrible potential. They're at high rotation risk. They're rotating each other all the time. Some games Chilwell starts, in some other games Alonso starts. So yes, these two players are actually to sell to avoid at all cost. But just before I move on, I would like to remind you to give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and don't forget to subscribe if that's something you have not done already. As for the next team I'm going to talk to you about are Everton. Now Everton has few potential good targets to go for. They do not seem to have any essentials, but Calvert-Lewin, Richarlison, Digne and Keane seem to be offering us good potential to do good. Now Calvert-Lewin have been the best seasonal player. He has scored a lot of goals this season. He seemed to be a very good and fantastic striker, but seemed to have dropped out of form now in the last couple of games. Well, he did that. Richarlison seemed to have improved in form actually. He has scored 4 goals now in the last 10 games. So yes, he does seem to be offering us a pretty good upcoming potential for those upcoming fixtures. Everton's upcoming fixture do look pretty good for them to actually be able to do good, and I believe that Digne still offers good potential to do good. He has already 8 FPL assists to his name this season, so yes, he does seem to be offering us excellent attacking FPL return potential. Unfortunately, Everton's defense have been pretty weak and bad now in the last couple of games, so their clean sheet potential have been almost gone, but I still believe they offer us excellent clean sheet potential in those good upcoming fixtures. Same goes to Keane. Now, if you do not want to go for Digne and spend a lot of money, you could potentially even settle for Keane, as he does seem to be a guarantee starter that offers us good potential, especially for those clean sheet he is expected to get. As for the next player, I believe has okay potential to do good now is Sigurdsson. So he does seem to be a guarantee starter, but even though he is a guarantee starter, he does not seem to be producing a lot. He does not seem to be attempting a lot of shots. So he has only okay potential to do good. And Rodriguez, I believe him to have terrible potential to do good. Now he has lost his place to be a guarantee starter as he was at the beginning of the season. Now he actually just gets to play half games or just enter the game at the end of it and actually play only 15 to 20 minutes. So yes, he does seem to be a player you should definitely sell. The next team I'm going to recommend for you to go for is Manchester United. Now they do have essential player, that is Fernandes. He has been the best Premier League player this season. FPL wise, he has earned most FPL points out of all Premier League players. His form now in the last couple of games have been just fantastic as well. So yes, he does seem to be essential from game week 30 now to the end of the season. As for those players that offer us good potential is actually Rashford. He's differential right now, so I would recommend a lot of players to go for him. His upcoming fixtures seem to look amazing for him to be able to do really good, and Rashford have been fantastic player this season. He's actually only second out of all those Manchester United players by total FPL points earned. Those other players that I believe have good potential to do good are actually Shaw and Wan-Bissaka. Manchester United defense have been questionable, but they still seem to be offering us good clean sheet potential in those upcoming fixtures and good attacking FPL return potential. They are both fullbacks that actually like to deliver a lot of balls into the box and actually take a lot of shots. Same goes to Maguire, but he's a centre back. He still likes to attempt a lot of assists and attempt a lot of shots where he actually does manage to score goals from time to time. Now De Gea is a player I believe have okay potential to do good. When we go after De Gea, we actually go only after his clean sheet potential, but he could occasionally even win that bonus for saves made as well. I don't believe that he is that good of a goalkeeper this season, so he does not seem to be offering us good potential to do good, but only okay. And as for those other players, as Martial, I believe he offers bad potential because he's all the time rotated with all the other players. Same goes to Cavani. Now, even though he was fit and could play in a lot of games, he was actually not even started. He did not even get to play any minutes. So yes, he does seem to have terrible potential to do good now from game week 30 and onwards, and should definitely be a player you are looking to sell. Next team that have very good potential to do good are Liverpool. I believe Salah to be finally an essential player to own to the end of the season. Liverpool does seem to be having the easiest upcoming fixtures now to game week 38. That's the end of the season. So yes, if not now, then when? Salah have been fantastic and phenomenal player throughout the whole season. He's actually the player that has scored a lot of goals, and he's the player that has scored most goals so far. So he does seem to be offering us excellent potential to do good now to the end of the season. For those other players that have good potential to do good are Mane. He has been okay this season. He is having ups and downs. His form lately have been pretty okay. His form this season have been pretty okay as well. so he does seem to be offering us good potential now, mainly because he does seem to be playing those easiest upcoming fixtures. And as for Alexander-Arnold and Robertson, they have failed to impress this season. I believe this mainly happened because of their attacking ability and potential have drastically decreased. This was because Firmino have been such a bad striker this season, failed to score in a lot of those chances that these fullbacks created to him. And as for Jota, I believe him to be having a good potential to do good as well. He's very cheap player. Now if he seemed to be nailed for that team, and if he seemed to continue to getting all these minutes and starts, he should potentially do really good now to the end of the season. Now Firmino has okay potential. He's a Liverpool striker that could potentially turn into a little weapon, as we have seen him being last year and the year before. It's only that he has just failed to impress this season. And as for Wijnaldum, he does seem to be a guaranteed starter in that team as well, but I believe him to be offering us terrible potential to do good, and I believe he is a player you should most definitely look to sell. The last team from my list are West Ham. I believe they have one essential player to go for, and that is Cresswell. He is an amazing fullback. He already has 10 FPL assists to his name, so he does seem to be offering us excellent attacking FPL return potential. And just because he does play for West Ham, and West Ham have been phenomenal this season, he does seem to be offering us excellent clean sheet potential as well. And that's why he seemed to be a must-have and an essential defender to own now to the end of the season. The next player that offers very good potential to the good is actually Lingard. He is having a surprising form increasement now since he joined West Ham, and since he started getting those starts. He's actually scored 4 goals and 2 FPL assists now in the last 5 to 10 games. And as for the other player I believe have good potential to the good is Antonius. He's having very good seasonal form. His form have dropped now in the last couple of games, but he's still a very good and fantastic player to go for. I believe that he has good potential from Game Week 30 to the end of the season. And as for the last defender that you could potentially go for from this team is actually Doughton. I believe him to be offering us excellent defensive ability and potential and excellent attacking ability and potential. What is fantastic about him is that he actually managed to score 3 goals now in the last 10 games. So his attacking ability and potential seem to have increased a lot. The next player you could potentially go for that have okay potential to be good, and you go for him mainly because of his clean sheet potential, and that is Fabianski. He is only okay clean sheet potential because he has just make a return from injury, and he does not seem to be getting a lot of clean sheets since he made a comeback. The next player that have okay potential to be good is Kufal. Now if you want a cheap player, and if you want a cheap way into that West Ham defense and you do not want to spend the money and go for perhaps Cresswell, then Kufal should potentially be okay to go for. He has 4 FPL assists to his name this season, and he does seem to be offering us some slight attacking FPL and potential and excellent clean sheet potential. And as for the next player I believe have terrible potential to do good is actually Souček. I believe him to be a very lucky player that was situated in that kind of form where he actually got to score a lot of goals. He's actually a defensive midfielder. See, he shouldn't have been in those positions where he was allowed to score. Now we see that he is getting closed down a bit more and more towards the end of the season. People start to understand his game and his playing style. So yes, he's most definitely a player you should definitely look to sell and have terrible potential to do good. If you thought this video was of any help, please do give it thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to not miss out on any new content. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.